welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm pitting out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that?
Hey!
Hey! Episode 70, How to Get the Most Out of a Conference. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We are ready to rock and roll here today. We've got a lot to cover and not a lot of time. So we're just going to dive right in, right, Neal?
Let's do this. Rach, who do you love?
HD Photo Hub.
Today's episode is brought to you by HD Photo Hub.
The platform real estate photographers trust.
And so do we, because Rach and I both use it on a daily basis. Check it out.
Okay, so as you know, PMRE, or if you don't know, now you do know.
Now you know.
No, if you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to say the last word.
And it stops there for white people.
Yes, PMRE is next week. It starts on Wednesday. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. The festivities start on Tuesday evening, and it's in Las Vegas at the Palms this year. And man, that conference is fun. Neal, you are in for a treat. It is
Can't wait.
I mean, I've been thinking about this episode and kind of what we're going to cover and what we're going to talk about. And honestly, like, the thing is, guys, as a real estate photographer, we work alone. We don't work with other photographers very often. It's a very solo, single job where you really aren't interacting with a lot of people. Our interaction is going to be in Facebook groups, right? Or if you have friends that are also photographers like Neal and I across the country from each other. But very rarely are you in a room with 350 other real estate photographers who all specialize in your industry, right? So it is just awesome. Like, you can, I don't know about you, Neal, but I can nerd out about photo stuff like all day long. It's just no loss for words or conversation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I went on my sister came with me on a ride along today to check out what I do and see if it's something she might be interested in doing, like part-time or something. And she was just like, whoa, that was a lot. Because I could just talk for hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. It's funny whenever I train a new shooter, I'm like, okay, there's a lot to know. And they're always so confident. They're like, I think I got it. I think I'm ready to go out in the field. And I'm like, oh, honey, you're nowhere close. There is so much more to learn. And they still, like, even 3 to 6 months after shooting for you, there's still stuff that they haven't encountered yet because there's so many variables in this industry, right? And then as a business owner, once you start to grow, it's kind of the same thing as like a new shooter. Like, you kind of learn as you go, but same thing as a business owner of a real estate photography company. You start learning as you go. So there's so much you can learn about scaling a business, marketing, there's sales, like communication, leadership. I mean, there's so many areas. AI is a new one, right? Like all these different things and areas that us as entrepreneurs have to be educating ourselves in. And this conference does a great job of rounding that out and bringing it all to you in 2 to 3 days. So the first 2 days are on real estate photography and the last day is on commercial. So like more architectural and design photography. So I've signed up for all 3 days. I don't do architectural and design, but I'm like, hey, it can't hurt. And I just want to be there for 3 days. It's fun. So be there all 3 days. And Neal,
it's gonna be a whirlwind of information. And what we wanted to chat a little bit about is how you can make sure that you absorb that and get the most out of it and move forward with it from the conference. Because I think we've probably all been to some kind of at least meeting or conference or something in the past where you went and there was all this stuff. And then after, it's like a New Year's resolution, you moving along and you look back and go, I never really did anything with that information. What was that information? So we're going to try and come up with a few tips and things for a little prep, a little what to do during, so that you can, get the most out of the conference. And I'm hoping to get a ton out of this conference, and I'm really excited also just for the networking and the meeting. And that's part of it too, not just the classes, but getting the most out of the opportunities of people that are there.
Yeah. And there are a lot of opportunities for networking. So let's just hop right in. So before you go to any event, any conference, you want to make a plan of attack and kind of evaluate where you're at. And I would list out a list of struggles that you're having in your business or areas of question, like it's stuff that you're just not sure about, stuff that you think, am I doing this right? Write out all these struggles and all these questions on a piece of paper, bring them with you. Maybe put them on your phone in your notes app or something, and you can refer to those in between breaks when you're at the conference, just to remind yourself of things you want to ask people, because you're going to meet a lot of photographers that are seasoned vets in this industry, and they're just a wealth of knowledge. And you follow these people on Instagram or Facebook, or you've seen them in the groups, and do not be shy. Go up and talk to them. Feel free to ask questions, whatever, but have your questions ready to go so that you have talking points when you get in front of these people. So you have something that you can get out of it, because part of networking is just like growing and helping each other. And sometimes you'll just start telling your story, and the person you're talking to is, 2 or 3 steps behind where you're at. And so you'll help them. So it's kind of like this give take when you're at these events, because you never know who you're going to meet or where people are at.
Yeah, and that can be a easy conversation kind of opening too. Same with all the mindset stuff. When you write it down and you have your main focus for what you'd hope to get out of that conference, it's going to come up. It's just going to bubble to the top. It's going to come out in conversations, and you'll probably end up getting answers to some of those questions or some additional assistance. So
Yeah,
have those like your mantra. Like I want to get this out of this conference, and I bet you it'll help you get more out of that.
for
Yeah.
sure. Another one is to write down your goals for the next year, like what you want to accomplish. This will also help you kind of wrap your brain around questions you can ask and like things you need to pay attention to, right? Also, check out the agenda of all the
Yes.
speakers that are going to be there. This is streamed live as well, so you can buy a ticket to the event and just watch it from home. The beauty of that, if you are running late to the conference or you're not feeling well, maybe you drank too much. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody did that last year and stayed in her hotel room until 11 a.m. watching the conference from the app, which was great. I'm not going to lie. So, not drinking this year. However,
Right?
um, you can watch it streamed live. So if
Yeah.
there's, there might be a speaker who you're like, I don't think this is going to resonate with me. I'm just going to skip it and go to the strip. I'm just going to skip out on it. I would encourage you to not skip any of them. Just go to all of them, because whether you enjoy it or not, you're probably going to get at least one thing out of it, and you might be surprised at what you do get. So,
Yeah.
have fun to stick around.
I would say too, like when obviously, yeah, look at the agenda, but if you do look at the agenda and highlight those things that you think are going to be the gold mines for whatever it is you're hoping to get out of this conference, really pay attention to that, because you might end up networking with somebody. You might be in a conversation that's exciting and run late to things, but you want to make sure you're not running late to that thing, or opportunities. Who knows what opportunity may arise, but at least if you know what the critical things are, if you're out having a great evening the night before that early morning session, you might plan a little better when you would go home to make sure you get the most out of that in the next morning. You know what I mean? So just think about it.
Yep.
And planning for, besides agenda, for this specific conference, and probably other conferences this would apply as well. Sometimes they have apps now, and this conference does has an app that already we've started networking right now. If you have the app already, there's people reaching out trying to connect with you already. So you're already starting the networking and getting the ball rolling before we're even at the convention. So check out the app as well.
Yes. And a couple things you'll want to bring with you to the conference. Make sure you bring a stack of business cards, because you're going to meet a lot of people, and it's going to be hard to remember everyone. So bring your cards. You'll definitely hand them out. Also bring a pad of paper and a pen, or a notepad, or something electronic that you can take notes in. Notes app on your phone. There is a new recording device, which I literally pre-ordered the latest version, but it won't be here for another month. So I canceled that pre-order and ordered the older version. It's called PLAUD. P as in Paul, PLAUD, PLAUD. It's PLAUD.AI. And what it does is it records audio, and then it syncs. Neal, you'll be interested in this. It syncs with Claude with a C,
Oh, it does.
and with ChatGPT. Yes. And it summarizes and templates out all of your meetings, your calls, lectures, voice memos, trainings, and classes, like all of that. It breaks it down into a summary, and then it gives you like key points all within there. So you can push play for each speaker. It's recording it. Now it's recorded. One, you can re-listen to it. And two, yeah, you have a summary of notes and you can pull out of that what you want to use.
Yep.
And
That's cool.
it's amazing. So I'm excited to have that with me. So PLAUD is flat and rectangular and about the size of the back of your phone. So you literally can hold it on the back of your phone while you're talking to someone and it will record your phone calls too. So like if you have a discovery call with a client or a new client, you want to summarize what you guys talked about, have all those notes. It's like, done. I'm so excited for this, Neal. I cannot tell you. I had a discovery call for a Real Producers Lifestyle shoot today. And I ask them a ton of questions. They tell me their story. And I was like, okay, I'll send you an follow-up email with everything we talked about and like a list of props that you can bring and clothing, like da 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 da. And I was in my head, I'm like, dang it, I wish I had PLAUD. He'll be here tonight. I was like, oh, because that would have been nice. But anyways, it also has 30 hours of continuous recording. So you got plenty of time on one battery. And there's a link in our bio to grab one. They are on Amazon. And if you order now, I ordered mine literally last night and it's here today. So get yours so you are ready to record.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of apps too for your phone. Like on iPhone, I've been recording this right now. It's transcribing everything that I'm saying currently since we've been on the podcast. And this is called Otter. And it'll also give you a summary. And you can like highlight things as you go, tap on something, and it'll do some little pop-ups if you want to add an emoji or just highlight that section so you know like to go back and look at that part. And it's been recording for 25 minutes already, which is pretty cool. So there's a whole bunch of these things. There's more of them coming out every day. So check out the App Store, Google like 10 best apps, that kind of thing. There's so many cool things. I don't know how long this one runs. I don't know a lot about it. It's the first time I've ever tried it, so I can't guarantee that it's fantastic. But yeah, it gives me little timestamps. 24 minutes and 37 seconds. Cool, yeah. And there's a bunch of apps too for your phone, like iPhone. I've been recording this right now. It's transcribing everything that I'm saying currently. So that's all there. So it's pretty cool.
That's so neat. Yeah. So there's lots of options out there. I'm sure PLAUD will be, replaced with an app eventually, but it's a cool little device.
But some of the hardware things, sometimes they're, when they're dedicated like that, they're going to have, they might work a little better, be a little more accurate. And then like things like you said with like that phone thing, that's cool. I wouldn't be able to do that, I don't think with this, without going on speakerphone or something like that, because it's not picking up your side of the conversation because I have my headphones on, for example, right now.
Gotcha.
So,
but it's missing all the good parts, is what you're saying.
It's well, if you're like me, I'll just read over and over what I said tonight. No.
I see, Neal. When you re-listen to the podcast, you just fast forward through parts, don't you?
Oh,
you're like,
Rachel's talking again. Blah.
Yeah, she never shuts up.
Yeah, and some of them too will do it. There's some of these platforms that are doing it through like Zoom and stuff like that. They also summarize all that kind of stuff too. So there's a whole bunch, but I haven't had enough time to research them all. So yeah.
I'll wait. Anyway. Okay, so things to do at the conference, because now you've prepared. You have your list of questions. You're going to bring your business cards. You're going to bring a recording device or something. You are ready to talk about, you're going to discuss your goals and your struggles and get the answers that you need to push forward in your business, right? So you're there. Okay, what do you need to do? Here's what I challenge you to do. Most of us in this industry are introverted, like majority, I would say.
Not me.
I'm like 67% extrovert, so I'm pretty extroverted. Anyways, not everyone is. So it's going to feel weird. It's going to be out of your comfort zone, but go introduce yourself to at least 3 people per day, if not 6 or 9. The first year I was at PMRE, I was standing in line in the morning for coffee, and everyone has to wear a lanyard, right? So you can tell which ones are at PMRE. And I saw a couple people in line and I chatted with them, and like totally out of character. Normally I would never just chat people up that I knew were at the same conference as me that I didn't know, but I was just like so excited to be there. And I was like, oh, hi, where are you from? Da, 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 da. So, and it opened a lot of doors. It opened a lot of conversations. It was a great way to get to meet people, to network. So don't be shy. Just go get up when there's a break or there's a lunch break, get up and go talk to at least 3 people. That's how I met well, Alex met Tony last year and he brought him to our table and he sat with us and Tony literally hung out with us the whole time. And we're like, now we're like really good friends, you know? So
Tony Dunham.
Tony Dunham, yeah, from
Yeah.
Mosaic Studio. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you never know who you're going to meet or, you know, where that's going to go. So go just step out of your box and introduce yourself to 3 people a day.
And you can introduce yourself to Rachel. You can
Oh,
introduce
yeah.
yourself to me, and it's a no pressure situation. And
There's
you've got
2.
2 down already.
Perfect. Yeah. We would love to meet you guys. So if you see
Yeah.
us there, come say hi. Don't be shy.
Ooh, I've got a fun little cheat too, since you mentioned a lot of times they have the lanyards. I assume they'll have a lanyard, but a lot of times the lanyard will flip over and you don't realize it flips over.
Mhm.
And so, you know, they don't see your name, and that's a nice icebreaker. But a fun little cheat somebody said is on the back of that, write like an icebreaker of some kind, like your favorite quote, or just put your name there as well, and or you know, write something funny or whatever, so that it's an opening for them, right?
That's interesting. I like that. Yeah.
Ask me about my favorite quote. No.
Yes. I love chickens.
What?
I don't know. I'm sure it
That
would start
would
conversation.
that would start a lot of conversations. I
See?
love chickens. There you
Yeah.
go.
I have
Rachel's already
13
using it,
cats.
guys, so don't use that one.
Yeah, don't take mine. At the conference, there's going to be a whole vendor section this year. Last year, it was kind of like right in the middle of the showroom, which was great. All the vendors had booths set up. So you kind of had to walk by them in order to go in and out, and you could talk to them. Like everyone's so nice. It's amazing. You're going to meet vendors that you didn't even know existed, like different companies. It's cool. But now they're upstairs, I believe. So you're gonna have to kind of go out of your way to go see the vendors, but I would highly encourage you go to the vendor booths, talk to them about what they're doing, and just get their card, get their information, and just save them for when you go home because you never know when you might need a new floor plan company, or if you want to try HD Photo Hub or you want to compare HD Photo Hub to Ario, they'll both be there. So you can get some hands-on look at the app and see what that looks like. You can really just talk to the guys, see if you like them, get a feel for what both of them have to offer. So it's a great place to compare vendors, great place to get to know the people, and they always hand out free stuff, which is great. Who doesn't love
Ooh.
swag, right?
Yay, free
Yeah, and we have
stuff.
swag too. We're bringing swag. Oh,
Yeah,
so
gonna be
excited.
so
Oh,
fun.
Neil and I have a
Um,
goal to hand out 200 pieces of swag. So come find us. I don't think that'll be hard.
yeah,
um,
and little cheat for the business cards too, right? Because you know, if you're talking about PMRE, it's too late to probably get new business cards, but I'd highly recommend your business cards has your face on it somewhere because
mm,
people are going to get a bunch of these business cards and 10 minutes later they're going to forget which was yours if your face
that's
isn't on
true.
it. But another thing that you can do if that is the case where you got a card from somebody, make sure you have a pen on your person that you can write on a business card. You might like have a pen and then also like one of those white colored like permanent markers that you could write on dark things too in case it's a dark. But at least you can write a little note on the business card like a reminder who that person is or something that you talked about. So you're like, oh, that's the guy who loves chickens, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be
Rachel.
Dom.
You know, so yeah, so that because later when you get 20 of these cards later, you're not going to remember who is this person, right? So
Right.
that'll
No,
that'll help
that's
you.
a great piece of advice. I've also been told that when you design your business cards, you should always make them white and you should always have them printed on paper that you can write on for that exact reason.
Oh,
I do this when I go to networking events. I write down a little bit about them. So bring like a black Sharpie. The fine tip black Sharpie works good on business cards and it's small enough to where you can write something. But yeah, like that one. Neil has one. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're not, you should be. And follow us on Instagram, please. We'd love to connect. It's shooting the
totally.
shit with Rach and Neal on Instagram and YouTube. Anyways, yeah, the business card thing is clutch. You definitely need to write on them so you remember people because when you get home with like 20 of them, you're like, I don't know who any of these people are, but I know I said I wanted to connect with so and so. So write notes on your cards. Another thing too is to attend all of the networking events if you can. They have some lunches that you could purchase when you bought your ticket. I'm not sure if you can upgrade to that while you're there. They're probably all sold out. Actually, they probably can't buy them now. But if you can, go to some of the networking events. I know the vendors will host events up in hotel rooms, so they'll have like a suite or whatever, and they'll have drinks and food. And I know Kubicasa is doing a panel with Fraser Almeida. Am I saying that right? And Wayne Capelli. I think I'm saying it right. And someone else. I don't know who else. Someone else. Anyways, they're going to be there. They're doing a cool panel on shooting. I think it was luxury suites or something. I don't know. Anyways, it sounds interesting. We are SVP'd, so we'll probably be there unless we're recording content because we have some goals while we're there. But go to the networking things because you get a lot out of it.
Rach, I'm sorry, I got to interject. Okay, I got to give everybody a little tip, little trick that's been working really well with me with the marketing kit from HD Photo Hub. I use it as a little treat with any new client to kind of just put it right over the top. Like this is a little like customer service finesse. I get a new client, they do the shoot and everything with us, and then when I go to send the completed order to them, I have it set up as a template email already, and it says, hey, thanks so much for using our services. As a little bonus, I also am including the marketing kit, just so you know in the future. It's normally $50 to add this, but I just want to say thank you so much. And I want to let you know that this includes a dedicated website to your property, printable flyers, social media templates, a video slideshow, and it's going to have your face all over, and it's going to be great for you. And you can use it on your next booking appointment to win more listings, so that we hopefully are working with you again soon. And so I throw that right in there, and it's just like the piece de resistance. And they're like, what? Who are these people? They're fantastic. And we just got this cool thing. And guess what? They're hooked on it next time. Next time they buy the marketing kit, and I get a free little bump, a little extra money with no extra work. So I love
that's freaking genius. I think I might start doing that because I don't do that currently. That's a great incentive. I've had a lot of clients call and they're like, oh, do you do like a new client discount? And I used to, but now I don't. Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to do instead of saying, oh yeah, we give you a discount. No, you get a free property website and marketing kit with your first
give you
order.
a bump.
Yeah.
You make more money. Yeah, and it just costs a little bit to add that on there. So it's just like, nice finesse.
So if you want to try out the property website and marketing kit for yourself, you can put in promo code STS, as in shooting the shit, over on HD Photo Hub, and they will give you 50 free credits, which equates to about 3 property websites and marketing kits that you can test out and send to your clients and see their reaction for yourself. Okay, let's go back to the podcast. Next up, Neal, at the end of the night, what do you want to do?
Okay, well, you're going to recap. You do a little recap, make some notes, right? Write down some action items from the day. So let's say you got 5 business cards that day and you jotted your little notes on those. So then now that's the time where you want to get your notebook out and maybe write, or in your phone or whatever you're using for a note app, make sure you jot down a little bit more detail about that conversation and those contexts. You might want to go from there and create some to-do on your calendar, an action item from there. Like maybe they said, oh, let's follow up next week because I'd love to be on the podcast shooting this shit, right? And we're like, okay, I'm going to follow up with them. And then maybe also I would recommend right away going to social media, finding them on social media and following them.
Yeah, I was going to add that in there, but you beat me to it.
I'm
steal
sorry.
my thunder, Neal.
Let's pretend I never said it. What else could we do, Rachel?
Oh, and then you could follow them on Instagram or Facebook.
I should have said that.
Yeah, get on there and give them a follow. And then you'll be friends. And then you can DM them.
Besties.
Hey, friend. How are you? Okay.
That's right.
You know what's really great, Neal?
What?
Being sober. I missed it. I have so much more energy.
Really?
Not that I'm like a raging alcoholic, but I got back to where I was drinking a glass of wine like every other day. And then on the weekends, I'd have a couple of beers, 2 or 3 beers, which honestly, like, it doesn't take much for me to get drunk. And then it affects me the next day because I feel like crap. And then all the food I was eating was crap. So I just feel good and I'm excited. So it just feels good to feel good,
So does that mean more dancing in the after parties or less? Because you're not.
Here's the thing with the dancing and being sober. Okay. I'm a really good dancer when I'm wasted. When I'm sober, it's like, yeah, I'm not. It's not happening. It's just not. The first year I didn't drink alcohol and I tried to get on the dance floor and dance. And I tried and I told my husband, I'm like, honey, I can't dance sober. I'm like, I just can't. Like everyone's having a great time and I'm over here like having an anxiety attack in my head because I look stupid. And I'm like, why am I so worried about it? Who cares? I'll try, Neal. Fine, I'll try. Okay, I'm going to just let it go. This will be a good test, actually.
I am your secret weapon Listen,
Okay,
I'm
great.
everybody's secret weapon on the dance floor because I will get out there and dance. And as soon as you see this white guy dance, it's like everybody out there because you can't do worse than that.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'll be hiding up in the corner.
Yes,
Don't mind
I'll be
me.
boop 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 a doo, and
Just
it's like,
watch from
"Mm,
afar.
well,
Oh.
can't look worse than that. Might as well dance, you know?
Yes. Okay. So get out and dance. Read over your notes. Send DMs to people. Connect after you network. If you tell someone you're going to email them or DM them, do it. Make sure you follow up. Oh, get plenty of rest because it's a lot of
Yeah,
information. Your brain is working on like overdrive. One, from the information, and two, just from all the socializing and networking, especially being introverted. A lot of you are going to be exhausted when this is over. So be sure to get enough rest, drink a ton of water if you can, try to eat somewhat healthy. I know that's hard to do. Maybe avoid the clubs until 5 a.m. That's a bad idea. And yeah, have fun. Have a great
cool.
time.
Love it. And
Yeah.
we'll see you there, and we'll check on you, make sure you did your homework the second day. All right?
Yeah. We'll do a hangover check on day
Yeah.
2. So and the
Did you
party
get
is
up?
the first night. So Wednesday night is the big, like, it's from 7 to 11. There's like a band and it'll be like dancing and stuff. It'll be fun.
Cool.
So that'll be the true
Cool.
test.
All right, all
Okay.
right.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
Bye. Safe travels.